Hello everyone and welcome to my mood board presentations. I'm going to be doing two mood boards today on the Baroque and pop art periods. So starting with the Baroque period, I would define Baroque as opulent, indulgent, extravagant, dramatic and lavish. The very first piece I focused on was picture number 7, which is in the centre of the screen. It's a glamorous silver leaf back velvet chase, and it drew me to the perception of an indulgent French aristocracy during this period. The long lines of the seat are unified with the curved back of this chase and invites one person to sit back and relax with their feet up. It could be paired with number 12, which is a bench seat in the silver and black, as long as allowed. It could be used as part of a lounge suite, or you could use the bench seat in a private boudoir. So something maybe at the end of a bed would be quite lovely. Number 1 is a splash of purple or indigo, a royal colour for a king's chair. And it's beautifully crafted velvet and silver leaf. It could sit alone with no pairing, or to add some fun in a very formal setting to lighten the mood from the serious blacks and the emotional reds of this board. It's also reflected in the colour chart in number 14. The mirror picture number 2 with the asymmetrical bordering is distinctive of this period, and it's also adorned in the silver leaf. If you could get it in real silver, that would be gorgeous. Although there is a focus on this style of furniture, the intention is to have quite a few key pieces, very quality pieces to showcase, and not to crowd the entire living areas. So it's more of a minimalist environment, but still promoting that great sense of grandeur. Moving on to number 9, this dining setting contrasts beautifully to itself with the black and white silver leaf shine. I especially love the natural light reflection of the window bouncing off the silver shine off the flooring. Which brings us to number 3, a crystal chandelier to centre over the dining space. Or why not have 2, one in the dining space and one in the lounging area? Although this image draws you back to, draws you to the backlit darkness, my thoughts are this shimmering display of light will work with the natural lights to brighten the wallpaper and further offset against the darkened colours of those blacks and red velvets. I love this picture of number 11, taken from a blogger on a trip to the Palace of Versailles in France. With so many design elements, including scale, movement, lighting, balance and patterns, I'm really inspired by this design brief to present a checkerboard marble tiles as a flooring option, or of course a cheaper ceramic option. The grey and white matte wallpaper in number 8 focuses on the irregular Baroque floral leaf pattern. This is a lovely, affordable modern day wallpaper, and complement to the period. I especially love the small circles that could be interpreted as pearls or crystals, creating glamour to the room. The wallpaper is then coupled with curved, soft, warm, luxurious red velvet drapery in picture number 4 to contrast against the hard lines of the windows. I could see this embellished edging using a busy gold Baroque embroidery featured in picture number 10, and the warm velvet embroidered cushions featured in number 5. They would work in this design to texturally soften the glistening hardness of the reflecting marble and inspire tile work. Number 6 is a candelabra that functions both as an ornamental piece and light source. There is a beautiful balance with the adornment of the Baroque pattern on the stem of the base of the design. I can just imagine the sparkle of the cascading prisms draping, glistening over the adorned candelabra arms. And yes, I'm a little bit excited about pressed metal on the ceiling in picture number 13. There are 2 thoughts for this ceiling feature, either in a shining silver aesthetic for the lighting to further reflect from, or it could be painted over the ceiling to focus on the curved lines of this design, maybe in a ceiling white. So yes, I do like this beautiful Baroque opulent, indulgent, extravagant, dramatic, and lavish mood board. And I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Is there any questions for this mood board at all?
Casey, do you have any questions?
No, I really like it though.
It's a beautiful mood board. Thank you very much, Suanne. I really liked it. I really like your speech. That was well done. Just the one thing, and I want to see probably the second mood board, and then we will just give you feedback on both. Okay?
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
So moving on to
second one.
So I'm just moving my own personal screen on as well. So,
can you see the second one?
Yeah, you just need to scroll a little bit.
Up. Yeah, okay. I'll be
slightly bit more.
Is that it? No, that's it.
Yeah. So slightly back down.
It just doesn't want to fit completely in.
Yeah, that's close enough. That's good. Okay, thank you. So moving on to my pop art mood board, I would describe this period as innovative, sleek, and sophisticated. I have made a point of omitting bright orange plastic clocks, lava lamps, and Andy Warhol artworks to reflect this period to a more middle-class Australian context of the early 1960s. New designs in Scandinavian furniture were still very modern and continuing to be inspired by mid-century designers, as noted in images number 4, number 9, and number 18. So it's most of that lounge furniture, the sideboard, the sofa, and the setting chair. The simple, sleek lines of these Scandinavian designs are complemented with a circular volume of the ceiling light fixture in image number 5. The elemental differences of the period really start to stand out with the bare brick or stone textural walls, which for this purpose I've chosen the stacked stone in image number 1. That's on the left-hand side of the screen. Image number 2, the wallpaper is a modern interpretation of the geographical elements of this period. And who doesn't love Breakfast at Tiffany's, an iconic and controversial movie of its time, promoted with this pop art movie poster in image number 3. To create a balance of colour schemes, I have coupled this poster with the reds in the egg or orb inspired chair up in image number 6, and a transistor radio in image number 16 to put the pop back into the popular art period. The egg chair in particular is inspired by Space Race, as also reflected in the art floor light in image number 12, in the top right, and the dining setting in image number 13. Plastic was fantastic and looking shiny and new and space aged. I will point out that this example of the dining table is the wood that has been painted in white paint and have been varnished, so achieving that shiny look whilst being environmentally considerate. Now, darlings, so everyone could play it cool and be groovy, there are cocktail glasses in image number 15 and the seltzer soda maker in image number 14 that were brought back into popular culture from the 1930s, courtesy of the Bond movies. The cushions in image number 17 are fluffy, and the one with the purple hues has been knitted in a bulky stitch, so it becomes part of the artwork as well as being functional for comfort. The Murano glass feature in so the Murano glass feature art vase in image number 11 is beautifully delicate piece for its time, where many were bright and a kaleidoscope of colours. Image number 8 has lovely artwork that's in the centre of the screen, but my personal placement of this image was because I like the colours of the room, with its blue, grey and green hues also seen in the colour palette in image number 7, as well as the arrangement of the casual feel. If you still want to feel sophisticated and comfortable, pull up a few cushions, enjoy a seat on the zebra pattern mat in image number 10. We aren't going overboard for the animal prints, just this one for this time period, which is enough until the naturalist period arrives. Okay, thank you very much for listening to my presentation. And are there any questions for this mood board?
Thank you, Suanne. It was wonderful and it's beautiful presentation. Do you have any questions, Casey?
No, I really like the layout of that pop-up on there.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. So if we just, guys, have a look at the first mood board and the layout of the first mood board and the layout of the second mood board, so you can see the definite improvement. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we point out on the second mood board, I'm just gonna find my share what I had with you. Just a second. Where did we go? Okay. So which mood board do you see now, guys? Second or the first? Just want to know.
We're seeing your marking criteria.
Oh. Okay. Just a second.
Yeah, I'm seeing the first one there. Oh, yep. So seeing the second mood board now.
Okay, just a second. So you see the second one now.
Now we're seeing Google.
Okay.
The second one's Squiff. Oh, yep, it's good. That's the second one right now.
Okay, good. So if we just compare the first one, and can you see the first one? I'm scrolling up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So can you see the layout of the pictures? They all vertically set, and
Yeah.
there's nothing on the angle, and all the pictures have a very straight border.
Yeah.
So the kind of the feel of this mood board is very blocky. You know, it's a block on the block on the block.
Yeah, bit hard on the lines.
That's right. So when we look at the second one on the overall presentation now, you can see how it feels different, because the images you crop the images into the circle and an ellipse shape, and some of the images don't have a background at all, which actually makes it look much better. Okay?
Yeah.
So the more creative with your mood boards, guys, the better they're going to look. So don't be afraid to move the images on an angle. Don't be afraid to chop them off with the scissors or in Photoshop in very simple way. So that way it will look more natural.
Yep.
Okay. The other thing, which is, as I said before to the students, that I really appreciate that you put the texture of the brickwork or whatever it is. It's actually sandstone. Image number 1 in your pop art. Can you see that?
Yep.
This is a sandstone, but I would really appreciate if you actually found a real piece of a sandstone and actually place it on the actual mood board and then took a picture of it.
Okay.
Because it gives that tactile feel to your client when they have the actual elements on the mood boards. Like, swatches of fabric, swatches of floorboards, swatches of wallpaper, anything that you can get your hands on and put it on the actual piece of the mood board will give a nice and tactile and also three-dimensional effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's one comment on this. And on the first mood board, I just wanted to ask you, why did you select Baroque style?
I guess I like not just Baroque, but what they call late Baroque. So the whole, I really do love, trying to think which king it was. It was the Henrys. And which I think I did know this. The lovely queen, the whole, the aristocrat, where people, this is pretty much the last era that we were coming up to before they toppled the entire aristocracy of the French people. And I think it's just still brings in that beautiful era of romance and just being more carefree, and it was still very, very gorgeous, and before things got very, very hard and very, very dark. That makes sense.
Yeah. Do you know what year was that for Baroque art period?
So it was just before 1700, but it was late Baroque. So we're talking probably on the 1700s. So it was Baroque going into Rococo.
Yes.
But very late Baroque. Yep.
Okay. So it was in 17th century.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, good. And for the pop art, what year did you refer when you were selecting the images for pop art? What is the period of time?
1961 to 1963.
Okay.
It's pretty specific.
Okay, so all of those images related. I have a question about the sandstone wallpaper number 1. What is it exactly?
Stackstone.
Stackstone.
So it is current.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's an interpretation to actually just having exposed brick. So instead of having exposed brick, having an exposed some sort of rock, natural rock. It could have been any sort of natural rock. Just that exposed feeling seemed to have come into that time period.
Because this particular one was developed, I think, like the last 10 years or something, like tops. It's been around for probably 15 years tops. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm not sure if it belongs to the period of time 61.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something.
So it's just a modern element for it.
Yeah, the relation, yeah. Other than that, I think it's beautiful and I like your presentation.
Yeah. It's the same with that orb chair as well. That is a modern interpretation of the classic design, but I don't think that one's been out more than 15 years either, that particular model.
No. The egg chair, which was
the old,
yeah. Egg chair looks completely different, and it's a new interpretation. You're correct. Okay,
yes.
thank you very much. So you do have your folder organizational chart, and what did you discover with this when you were organizing your images? I'm just going to make it the first one.
Oh, just a whole new tagging system, tags and comments, and it's just like, well, I can put tags in there. I can tag by color and texture and mood and theme, and then on top of that, also for the comments, I can actually put in the reference for where I actually got it from.
Yes.
So references, as in how I would display that reference if I was presenting it.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that really, really good that I can tag that to the file. And then I also did just a quick search and showed how I that's more for my reference. It's like, wow, I can search by tag.
Yes.
And then the tagging, I did just for example, my wallpaper, all the wallpapers I had listed.
Okay.
And their little taglines that are on there.
Very good, very good. So it is quite useful. Make sure that your library is quite organized, and because you will be collecting lots of images during this course, and you might refer back to other images. Also, good advice to you all guys is to get your images organized in your e-portfolio. That's where you can store all your files, and you can access it from anywhere in the world, really. So you don't have to have your computer with you all the time. And I think it's very handy when you're doing online studies.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any questions about the second assessment, Suanne?
Not yet. I've got my chair ready and I've got my moulding clay and I'm just going to do up some of my sketches.
Excellent. So thank you very much. Your presentation was beautiful, and I'm sure you will improve and you will have fantastic pieces for the next one. So I can't wait to see that.